This might be the reason why you guys are struggling to lose weight, and it's a topic that is never talked about, and I really don't know why. My name is Jarrah, I'm a fitness coach, and I've managed to help thousands of people transform themselves and their bodies, and I'm just here offering you guys some advice. So by this point, you've been watching my videos and you've stopped making those simple yet common mistakes with your food tracking, but your weight's still not dropping. Don't stress, I'm here to explain why that's happening. Now, if my clients came to me with this problem, the first thing I'm doing is having a look into how many foods they're actually getting from packaged sources. My rule of thumb is to try and keep those packaged foods to about 30% of their diet, leaving 70% coming from food they've cooked, bought and prepped themselves rather than just buying it straight out of a packet. When going through this process with a client, it's usually quite confronting to them because they realize that commonly over 80% of their food is actually coming from packeted foods. Now, there's no secret that companies have been trying to pull the wool over our eyes for years, trying to stand out from their fellow competitors to make sure that we buy their product. They do this through marketing with wording, coloring, and pictures in their ad campaigns to make sure that we associate their food with healthy, and therefore if it's healthy, it must be low calorie, right? That's one of the first things I like to teach my clients is to try and disassociate from the words healthy and unhealthy. Now, don't get me wrong, I do believe it's important to hit your micronutrients. But I don't like the point of putting positive and negative labels on foods, as at the end of the day, food is energy. If we have too much energy to maintain our body weight, we will put on body weight. If we have less energy come in that we need to maintain our current body weight, our body weight will drop. And generally speaking, healthy is just another word for it's high calories, but don't check the back. Now, over the time when we came to purchasing foods, people were really bent up on what was in the product. We were scared of the word gluten. And I think to this day, 90% of people still don't understand what exactly gluten is. But now people are getting smarter and not really worrying less about that and more taking note of caloric values. So then brands started playing around with serving sizes, putting unrealistic serving sizes on their packaged food. So when at a glance, you may think that their food is lower calories than their other competition. For example, I don't know about you guys, but when you buy a Kit Kat Chunky, that thing's actually 3 servings. Who eats a Kit Kat Chunky in 3 servings? I smashed that bad boy like an Australian in one sitting like everyone should. But because people are smartening up now, the best way to check and compare foods is by using the per 100 grams comparison that's on the back of the label on every food in a supermarket. This means that they can't trick you with serving sizes that are unrealistic and you're having a more accurate comparison among foods in the same food group. However, here's the tricky part. The FDA allows packaged foods in supermarkets to be up to 20% off in their caloric reporting. What this means is if you may be tracking your food and thinking it's a certain number where in fact it could be as high as 20% wrong. Now, as you will well know, this industry is very competitive, and if they've got it at 20% wiggle room, you sure as hell know that they're taking full advantage of that. Now, I'm terrible at maths. I'm not going to lie about that. In fact, I know this video, I'm going to make it look like I'm rattling these things off, but I've got my maths down here just to make sure that I don't get it incorrect. Now, let me break down this clusterfuck for you. Now, if you buy a food that is 200 calories, that means if it's 20% off, it's going to be 240 calories. This means it's 40 calories extra per day. Now, let's say that you eat this food 3 times per day. That means you're intaking an additional 240 calories, which is actually 840 calories extra per week. Here's the kicker. Most people are doing this more than 3 times a day and with foods with greater caloric values than 200, which means that that 20% is actually going to go further. Now, this is why I only recommend having 30% of your foods coming from packaged food sources. Then with constant and consistent weigh-ins, you're able to tell if your weight is going up or down. And then by slowly eliminating these packaged foods, you're going to be able to find the culprit that is the one that you think is probably being mistracked. Now, I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope it's given you some things to think about next time you head down to the supermarket. I don't tell you this to scare you. I just tell you so that you can stop getting frustrated and pointing the finger at your own body for not losing body weight and maybe holding on to it, where in fact it could be something as silly as a company mistracking or misrepresenting the calories on their packets. For more informational tips and videos like this, please subscribe, like, and share, and check out the other videos that I've got on my channel.